Hi everybody, it's Shelley here, I'm consultant midwife in Powys. Just wanted to take the opportunity to give a short video update just to let you know what's going on with us as a service here in Powys. So we'll talk a little bit about antenatal care, about labour care and also about postnatal care, so just give you a bit of an update on where we're up to. So in terms of antenatal care, you will have probably noticed that we are following a slightly altered schedule of antenatal appointments at the moment, and we're following what's been recommended by the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, or RCOG, and RCM, and they've put a slightly amended schedule of care out at the moment, so that's what we will be following. And what we'll do is a post to come out on Bump Talk with just details of what that schedule of appointment looks like. We're generally conducting first booking appointments by phone. Some of our midwives are using Skype. We're also now introducing Microsoft Teams, and we are looking to potentially introduce Attend Anywhere, which is another kind of virtual way of us doing appointments with you, but so that we can use video rather than doing just appointments by phone. You may find that a couple of your other antenatal appointments will be conducted by phone or virtually by video means rather than face-to-face. And we are predominantly still seeing women within our birth centre or hospital settings for their antenatal care, but it is all individual assessment. So if it's felt more appropriate for you to be seen at home for an antenatal, then we would do that. And as you're hopefully aware, our midwives are wearing PPE for those appointments, so they would be wearing gloves, apron and a mask when they see you at kind of all stages of your care. We are still asking that you attend alone for appointments, and that does include scans, and we know that it is really difficult coming alone for those appointments, and we are very conscious of trying to find ways of making sure that partners or other family members are as included as much as possible. So if you do have an appointment where you come in to see us face to face, then we can try and arrange for you to be able to phone your partner so they can listen into that, that conversation and be part of that discussion. When we do the booking virtually, trying to arrange it when your partner can be there if that's what you want. You're not able to video scans, but once the scan is complete, then you should be able to ring your partner if they want to have any discussion. And we are obviously giving some extra photos and things out from scans as well. Our day assessment unit is open as normal, and we are conducting scans at the kind of required gestation. So dating scans around 12 weeks, anomaly scans around 18 to 20 weeks, and then those who need serial growth scans, we are still conducting those at 3-week intervals from 28 weeks onwards. In terms of attending for appointment, really important that you only come as long as you feel well. If you don't feel well or anyone in your household is feeling unwell, then please make sure you ring first just to follow up with us to have advice on whether you should attend for your appointment or not. In terms of antenatal education, as we've said previously, we're not running any kind of normal face-to-face classes within our birth centres, but hopefully you've seen on the Bump Talk page and also on the Powys Health Board Women and Children's YouTube channel that there's a number of videos that we've put together. So they range from signs of labour, where to have your baby, aromatherapy, because we offer aromatherapy service, hypnobirthing, breastfeeding, positioning attachment, all of those sort of things. So there's a load of videos out there. If you're watching this video on the Bump Talk Facebook page, if you go to the video section at the top, then you'll be able to see all of the videos that we've done. So hopefully you'll find those useful. They're quite short in length so that you could watch them kind of quite easily at your convenience. You'll also see that we've shared a post from through Public Health Wales, so that's to do with an antenatal and parenting education programme, and that uses something called the Solihull approach, and that is a approach that we were introducing into our normal standard antenatal education package anyway, but that is now accessible free online for residents in Wales. So there was a post further down the kind of Facebook feed, and you'll see there is a code that you need to put in to access that, but we hope that you'll find that useful to have as well. And we are also exploring what we can do in terms of virtual classes. So we are looking at whether we can do something through Microsoft Teams or another platform to try and get some sessions out that maybe will be a bit more interactive, and we can have a group of you attend so that you can also get that kind of interaction with other expectant parents as well. In terms of labour and birth, we're really pleased that we've got all of our birth locations open. So our 6 midwife-led units, so Brecon, Llandrindod, Knighton, Newtown, Welshpool and Llanidloes, they're all open and all fully functioning. And we're obviously continuing to offer home birth. So if you have had a healthy pregnancy, a low risk pregnancy, then we would really be encouraging you to consider having your baby at home or within one of our birth centres. In a video I did a little while ago, I talked about the potential that we would be looking at alternative means of transport for if you needed to transfer in labour, and we have just commenced that this week. So it means that we have a kind of grading system for when we would call a 999 ambulance versus other means of transport. So an ambulance crew that wouldn't have a paramedic in attendance, for example, or times where we would transfer you in a taxi with a midwife with you, or where you might transfer in your own car. So if you've got any questions about that, your midwife will be able to talk through that with you, and every case again is assessed individually so that we can discuss and decide at that time what's the safest means of transport to get you to hospital if needs be. And at the moment we're not experiencing any issues with transfers, certainly from the perspective of when we're calling ambulances, so just to reassure people about that. And obviously in terms of labour, we'd encourage, if you're low risk, you could have a home assessment in labour so that you only come up to the birth centre then if that's where you choose to come once you're in established labour. And again, even if you are thinking of having your baby in one of the surrounding obstetric units and you're low risk, you are entitled to have that home assessment in labour as well. If your pregnancy has been a little bit more complicated, so if you've been seeing an obstetrician and having extra care, then obviously it's completely your decision what you decide to do when it comes to labour and birth, and your midwife will discuss your kind of preferences with you individually, particularly if you're wanting to choose to stay at home or come to one of our birth centres, so that we can put a plan in place to make sure that you're as safe as possible then. In terms of postnatally, we are following a slightly reduced schedule of postnatal care, but you should have at least a couple appointments at home, again as long as you and everyone in your household are well. So you would expect to be seen at home, either your first visit home from hospital or from the birth centre, or day after you've had your baby if you have it at home. And then our health visiting colleagues are generally starting to visit from 10 to 14 days postnatally, and we're looking to hand over at that point as well. But the key message is, if at any point you've got any concerns about either your pregnancy or once your baby's born, there is a midwife available 24/7 on call. So for any urgent calls, the number is 01874 622 443, and you ask for the midwife for the area that you live in. So even if you are not due to be seen for a few days or weeks and you've got any worries, it is really important that you do ring and ask for support if you need it. And just one final thing, I did a brief video a few weeks ago about our birth reflections and trauma service. So just to say that is accepting referrals in. We are doing birth reflections opportunity generally by phone or video consultation, and we are kind of individually assessing each case in terms of whether we deliver any trauma treatment if that is needed. And so some women are beginning to be seen for that, and generally we're asking them to come into the birth centre environments to have that. So just again to let you know that service is back up and running a bit more normally now. So I think that's everything for now. Feel free to write any comments and we can try and respond back. As I said, midwives are available, for you to ring. You can leave a message on their office answer phone and they'll ring you back. Or obviously if you need to speak to somebody urgently, you make sure you tell the call centre that and they will get a midwife to call you back straight away. Okay, speak to you all soon. Bye.